So this painting is a self-portrait, and it's called Sacrifice. And it's really about being a visual artist and giving your all, as in like pouring everything out onto canvas. Like for me, I can paint and paint, and then when I'm done, I feel like I worked out in the gym. Like I gotta take a shower. It's intense, it's serious. I'm thinking, I'm all the way in it. I'm all the way in it. This is actually a remake because it's a painting I did of myself years ago. Parts of it is still left in the background, but that's a part of my face. And these are my two hands. And originally the painting was me going like this, like I'm giving you everything, almost like on a cross. So this is me saying, I give myself to you. It finally kind of came to fruition, like what the whole concept was. And sometimes it takes years for those concepts to come out. It's not something that always happens overnight. I've been painting full time for 10 years. 10 years last year. From Philly, born and raised. It kind of reminds me of something I always said in the past, which was, I don't paint for profit. Art for industry reminds me of not painting for a profit. It's about painting from your heart and then having people want what you created, not creating what you think they will want. If you're only painting when you make money, then you're only painting what someone else is telling you to paint. And I'll put those paintings aside if I need to for an emotional me day and paint some shit, whatever I want on that piece of canvas, like not worrying about if somebody wants to buy it, because that's who I am. And that's the only way I can be a great artist for whoever commissions me. If I'm not doing that, then I can't pour anything into your painting that the next artist couldn't give you. Like, you have to respect that I need that. I need those days to paint 200 paintings that nobody may never buy, because it makes me who I am to paint yours, you know. Well, I think I'm a unique creature in the fact that I knew I wanted to be an artist when I was still learning to walk type thing. So for me, there is no industry. It is, but it isn't really relevant. It's kind of like, oh, I'm not of the world, I'm of God's, or whatever the case may be. Like, it exists, but it didn't make me want to be an artist, and it doesn't define who I am as an artist, and it won't change me being an artist. If it was to disappear, I would still do this. If you're an artist in the way I feel that I am, then it's your life. It supersedes trends. It supersedes popularity, likes, social media. I did a Sandra Bland portrait, and while painting it, I felt ridiculously heavy. I mean, like, I'm sweating, and my hands shaking, and I needed her face to be on the canvas, and I needed this part to happen, but I needed that to happen to make this part make sense. So I painted it, and afterwards I still felt heavy, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this energy? Like, what am I, that didn't take away my pain, it helped, but I still felt so heavy. And so I turned to my heart series, which I tend to do. I do my hearts at intervals every few months, and I was like, a heart, I need to do a heart. It's called the heavy heart, and it took me a minute to kind of conceive how to make a heart look heavy, and I wanted the heaviness to feel real. I just wanted the heart to feel like it was drowning. I wanted to feel like the tears were in it. And I kind of played on the idea that when people have a loss, they say you have a heavy heart. This heart, interestingly, is called terminal heart. And the idea behind it was a heart that needed kind of like life support. But I didn't want the word terminal to mean death. I wanted terminal to mean, new life. So that's why the tree is in the heart, kind of rooted in the heart to kind of keep it circulating, keep it growing. This heart is our fruitful heart. If you're working, you know, oh, I don't sleep, I'm grinding, I'm working all night, 7 days a week, I don't have a 9 to 5. If you're doing all that, you should have something to show. And I'm all about your work speaking for itself. So if you're a tree and you grounded, your limbs shouldn't be bare. It should be things growing off of you and from you. This is heart number 7. And it's called the golden heart. This one I did in a day. I'll go back in and tighten it, but I need to see all the pieces before I can take a deep breath and step away from it. So all the pieces are there. It's not finished, but all the pieces are there. Canvas is my life, is what I want to do. However, I have to be realistic at the same time, and on many levels I needed to do something else. I ventured out recently to doing a pillow collection. There's so many people who genuinely want to support, who cannot afford a painting, and I need to have them have another way that they can be a part of all of everything that's going on. And I get it. I mean, art is a luxury purchase. It's not feeding them. It's not putting clothes in their kids' bag. However, those who really know the art game know that that will feed you. And if you make the right choices, it'll feed many generations of your families to come. Art is where it's at, but it's about educating our people to know that and then offering them something worth buying. You know, I've been out there pushing art and seeing art that was pushed, and I was that person who was shopping my portfolio up and down Old City and having gallery owners telling me it's too urban. And I wasn't a graffiti artist, but it could just be the colors that I use. It's that simple. Like, it could be the colors that I use. And for a long time, I kind of tried to fight that I wasn't going to be an Afrocentric artist. Wasn't going to be me. So it's all about telling our story. And if our story isn't wrecked and kente cloth, that's okay. It's not, you know. If it's not natural hair, that's okay. Right. You know what I mean? Right. If your story the girl in your story got a bundle in, right? You know what I mean? Paint who we are. So I've done that. I've painted my students, just black girls that in 100 years, if they're in a museum, they'll reflect what we look like right now. I think people expect art to kind of supersede those kind of pretentious things, but it doesn't. The great thing about being an artist is that people expect you to be a little controversial. People kind of expect you to do something that creates conversation, disturbs people a little bit. So I noticed I could loosen my reins a little bit in my work and be a little more vicious if necessary. Right now I'm working on a series, it's going to be my next exhibition, and it's called See Her Work. When I paint portraits, I always start with the eyes. Like, I have to completely finish them. I don't even sketch in the rest of the face, it's just the eye. I feel like if I can get you to know who that person is just from their eyes, that the rest of the portrait is kind of cake. This set of eyes that I painted not so long ago kind of garnished a lot of attention and made me think about what could I do with that concept. So the See Her Work project is me exploring 7 women from Philly who just doing it, like just doing their thing in all different fields. Like, they working, they killing it, they going all the way in. So I have these 7 women, and for all of them, I'm just painting their eyes. And I'm interviewing them, and I'm getting their stories. So it's almost like see me, but see them, like see us. Is kind of telling a bigger story. This piece was an inspiration for that because it's just the eyes, but I was able to kind of explore another like line of storytelling through those eyes. These eyes are fighting for something. So this is called I Fight For. They're fighting for and through something. I feel like to be human and to be an artist, I can't imagine experiencing life from one place. then I feel like my art is also limited to that place. So I want to be as unlimited as possible so that my work can reflect that as well. Philly will always be my home.